be here when they are. So we're talking about the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius, which is peaking tomorrow at about midday UK time. But the energies have been building, so it's likely that you have been feeling the intensity of it already. I definitely have. And eclipses are portals. So we're in we will open a 2-week portal. It will end with the full moon in Virgo on the 4th of March. And so within that 2-week frame between this new moon and that full moon, essentially just strap in, hold on tight, and just see what comes up. That's the most basic, simple advice that I can give you for it. But it opens with a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. So it's got the Aquarius energies, and it is a new moon. So new moons are new beginnings, and eclipses are very much that on steroids. So it's really saying there's this big new opening, this new beginning. And eclipses happen when the new or full moon is on the north or south node, and this one is on the north node in Pisces. And it's actually giving us themes, although it's still in the Pisces north node, where it's in Aquarius, it's giving us themes of the next nodal change, which will happen in July. So we will be leaving the north node Pisces and the Virgo south node energies, and we'll be moving into Aquarius Leo as those two directions. And so it's giving us a preview of that energy to come, and then that nodal points will be with us for a year and a half. So this is that first little bit, this first little insight of kind of what is to come for us all in our charts. And we've got this new moon in Aquarius, and it is actually square its ruler, which is Uranus. So all of this crazy intense energy that an eclipse brings anyway is going to be heightened. The disruption, the chaos is heightened by that square, because squares are uncomfortable and bring chaos. So this really is peak energy. And the Aquarius of it all. So Aquarius, air sign, and it's all about innovation. It's outside of the box thinking. It wants this forward motion. It's very much about the collective, about community, and about changing everything, essentially. And this is kind of what we're seeing on the world stage at the moment, where the old systems are kind of fracturing. They are crumbling or starting to crumble. They're really coming into that part of the limelight where it's this doesn't serve us, that 1% at the top, and then the rest of us as the collective, this doesn't serve everybody. So this energy collectively, at least I'm saying fingers crossed, is really going to shake that shit up, which is very, very much needed, because it's all about all of us as opposed to just them and us below. But on a personal level, it will depend where Aquarius is on your chart. So depending on your rising, it will be in different places, but it will affect the Aquarius part for you. And that's where you'll really see these themes coming in. But this is an opening of an eclipse portal. So this is a big, new, very, very intense opening, but it is going to last the 2 weeks and going into different themes throughout. It is a dismantling, and eclipses are karmic, they are fated. So everything that comes in is to align you to your purpose, to a greater purpose. And if you're not in alignment, it's really going to help get you back on track. So depending on your life and what you're doing with yourself, if you're already in alignment, it's not that you won't get lessons, they just may not be as harsh as if you're not in alignment. You really may get a slap around the face with this, because it's going to put you back on course, but it can also bring a lot of discomfort. So just when I say strap in, I really do mean it. Just strap into the energies and let them play out. So however that's going to occur to you, just let it be. See what messages come in for you. See what's being poked at and prodded at, and just be with it and take the lessons, as opposed to trying to control anything. Please do not manifest under this new moon solar eclipse. Do not manifest under eclipse energies. They are volatile, they are unpredictable, and you do not, it's like, so it's chaos magic. And I mean, go for it if you want to, like, absolutely go for it. But the point of doing manifestation and magic is to try and like steer an outcome to what we want. And with this, there's just no guarantee that you're going to steer it in the direction, because it may just go completely off course. So don't manifest. If you're someone that puts your crystals out on the moon or something like that, you don't want to put this energy into your crystals. Like, essentially just leave it be. Like, let the energies be what they are, let them come in and sit with you however they're going to sit with you. Don't try and control a narrative. Like, just simply be with it. So does anybody have any questions about this solar eclipse in Aquarius before I move on and bring in the tarot card? I would like to also say, actually, so ancient astrologers used to see eclipses as like bad omens, but for their kings and for their rulers. But I personally love that energy under this lunation, because we need new people in power. So I really hope it is that like judgment day for the ones up top, and that we're already seeing so much stuff has come out recently, and just I would imagine more will start to unravel, and it is down to us to stand up collectively and as community, and say enough is enough for all of this. So yeah, I'm hoping for a bad omen for them, not for us. For each and us, like every one of us in our everyday waking lives, I hope that it is as gentle as possible. But yeah, rest, relaxation, regulate your nervous system, like under schedule in these 2 weeks and around this time. And if you've been feeling exhausted or feeling drained, that's like perfectly normal, because this is like intense, wild energy. This really is, like I said, it's an opening, it's karma. It is that fate aspect really coming in. So you just have to trust that you will be guided in the best way possible. Like, fate is in control at this moment in time. So like, just, I say strap in, but also go with the flow. But I feel like they're like counterintuitive things to say. So, you know, that aspect, but truly step into your authenticity, and it's going to be shown to you. It's the mirror. That's the mirror that's there. That's what's going to be coming in. This is like an intense new beginning, asking you to let go of control. And so with that intense new beginning has to be an ending. So yeah, lots of energies. Oh, I've just lost my own screen. How do I get back? Oh my God, I've actually caused chaos. There we go. Sorry, lost my screen. Yes, do cancel going to work. I think that's a great plan. Definitely book in massage. The connecting tarot card to this lunation is the Seven of Swords. This is a card that is all about generally betrayal, deception, getting away with something. It's like that stealth maneuver, but and also the strategy involved in that. So as you can see, like, he is running away from town. Oh, pointing at the wrong direction. Running away from town. He has taken 5 swords and left 2 behind. And how this connects in with this like new moon solar eclipse is about the aspect of like deception. So what will be brought to light for you, for all of us, is how you may have been deceiving yourself, and asking you to be honest about that. And in regards to like your purpose, why you're here, I'm talking about like proper soul growth here. And I would imagine most people watching this generally will be on that, like on that journey in some regard. If you're watching astrology, you will be. But it's also bringing through the energies of like what was hidden can no longer be hidden. And that's what this eclipse is truly doing. So that level of like looking inward at self, and then, as I was saying, like on the main stage, like corruption coming to the forefront majorly. Like, if you literally see that figure then as a corrupt ruler trying to get away with something, trying to stealthily get away with something, all of that stuff will be coming to the surface. But on that personal level, it's just an asking to have that mirror reflection with self, so that you're really like seeing the truth of your actions so far? Where have you been deceiving yourself or potentially deceiving others? Where have you been betraying yourself, your path, your purpose, for the cost of winning these 5 swords? And it's also a card that talks about, like, so if you actually notice, he's taken 5 but left 2 behind. So it's that aspect of like, what do you have to leave behind now, and what is actually going to like come forwards with you? What do you need to take forwards with you? And this is all stuff that will come to light. There's not much force involved here, as in the eclipse is going to be doing all the forcing. So you don't need to force. You just need to trust in the energies coming forwards and like just allow them in and see what's left behind and see what you will be taking forwards. And it may be that there's some really uncomfortable things that you want to take and you just can't. But it's just like letting it play out. The strategy part of this card, like the strategic planning aspect, and it's asking you to kind of let go of the reins of that. Like, you can't strategically plan through an eclipse. You just have to let an eclipse. You can't outmaneuver it. You can't take control of it. So it's just simply being with it. And just allowing the situation to play out. But yeah, this is like a proper like little trickstery energy, proper like he's looking back like all smirky and just like thinking he's got away with something. And that's the stuff that's going to be brought forwards. Like, we're not going to get away with anything at this moment in time. That's what the eclipses bring forward. That fate puts everything in front of us and says, like, you have to look at this now. You can't avoid. And yeah, main stage wise, with that Aquarius energy that is so collective and like wanting this like innovative, I can't say the word innovative, did I say that right? Change that really like honors all of us as people. And then there's also the Aquarius edge, which I've not mentioned, is obviously technology. So technology has obviously ramped up and up and up as the years have gone on. And with that, like ramp up in technology, obviously AI has really increased, and then like social media blew up and everything like this. And there will be some shifts and changes within that. Like, it's likely that different regulations may come forwards, and we're already in that part where we don't really know what's true and what's not on the internet, on our screens anymore. And part of that innovation moving forwards, but with the collective in mind, will hopefully at least have us all like a bit more protected in these spaces, a bit more understanding of what we're seeing, and like so that we can potentially distinguish truth from like crazy warped reality. I think that is everything. I've managed to talk through it really, really quickly. And it's just because eclipses in that regard are quite simple, because you just have to leave them be, and let the chaos be. They are that like this, especially because it's a new moon, so it's that new beginning, and it's a new moon on the North Node in Pisces, and those things will change, but it's this like this new at the end. And there's so much energy in the chart. So like all of the signs are like pretty much all of the planets are within 3 signs. They're in that Aquarius, Pisces, Aries little loop. So it's like heavily weighted in one part. And we've had so much shift. We've had, is it Neptune and Saturn, I think? I'd say don't quote me on it in case I'm wrong, shift into Aries. So this is already themes, and there is this like Aries energy going forwards. We've also got tomorrow with that new moon eclipse, the fire horse. So although my understanding is lacking, it started earlier in the month, and Unfurling Alchemy, who is in the chat, did explain to me after I was just like, no, it begins at the beginning, after I heard it on a podcast. And it does, but that's the solar, and then tomorrow's the lunar. So essentially we're fully out of Snake and fully in the fire horse tomorrow. So we have that intensity as well. So it's just big energy, big energy. This has been ramping up. So tomorrow is just like, it just hits, and then it's just be with it. Be with it for that 2-week period. Just trust what comes in, and also know it's a liminal space, and liminal spaces are that, like, you can't control. They are neither the beginning nor the end. You're just like stuck in the middle somewhere, and just rest, recuperate, see what messages come in, spend some time in meditation, see what wants to come in for you, but just don't try and force or control any sort of narrative. It won't serve you. Simple, she said. Yeah, well, simple enough. Hey, Terry. I have left Puppy downstairs today because he is manic, and if I had left him in the room, he would be absolutely crazy. But if you did come in late, it'll be up. It'll be up on the internet, and you can watch it. It's absolutely fine. And let's move on to essentially my favorite part. Unless there's any questions, which you can chuck them in the chat, and that's absolutely fine. But my favorite part is always going to be pulling cards because I love them. And it's not that I am rushing through this in any regard. Like, the timer is, I've got a timer there. It tells me the time. But there is a level of, I've not had dinner and I'm hungry. So if I do get through this quicker, my belly is all the happier. Oh, I didn't actually mean to. I was just meant to pull out a tarot deck, and I've also pulled out a shadow deck. So we might be getting some spicier readings here. If you do want to know what house it may be affecting for you, you can also let me know your rising sign and I will tell you. Although this may differ from person to person, it's using whole sign houses. It's very basic and then therefore a bit generic. I'm like a 21 degrees Cancer, like rising, which means that it shifts. So the house it's supposed to be in, per most of the astrology things that I have been like looking at on Instagram type of thing, it's not actually the house it's really going to affect me in because of my degrees. So it can differ person to person, but it'll give you a basic at least. And if you're earlier in degrees of your rising sign, then it will be more on point. And aside from that, whoever is in the room, pop, because I actually know your name. I know, well, if you're still in here, I know Terry and Aisa, so I can pull cards for you. But yeah, pop something in the chat and we'll get a few cards. We're going to more like, I think with the craziness, unless you have a specific, and then pop that in there, that's fine as well. Maybe go more like how to assist with the energies coming in for us all. Because this is, like I said, this is the preview before the nodal change later in the year. And that's going to be like 1.5 years of that new nodal thing. This is like this first point, and then you may be like, where you're getting the ideas and the stuff coming in that will be more actionable, like, so the end of July. So what's that? Summer? Yeah, summer. How to survive. Okay, I've not given myself enough space where I'm sat to actually shuffle the cards properly. How to survive as a Virgo rising. I do also want these ones. So your 6th house is your like daily routines and habits. I think pets also come into the 6th house. And it's just like that routine. So just everything, daily routine in regards to, and that health part. I actually think 6th is ruled by Virgo, if I'm not mistaken. So very like in line. So you have the Knight of Cups first, which is one of my favorites. Knights are like that younger, naive energy. Cups being the water, so your emotional landscapes and how you relate. And he's like the hopeless romantic of the deck, is how I would call him essentially. But it's also this like that like creativity, that intuitive nature, and just like fully like wearing your heart on your sleeve, because knights are action, they are moving forwards, but cups is feminine, so it's like action moving forwards, but it's like a passive action moving forwards. So I'd really go into the water, and I'm also saying that because of a reading that we have had together where there was very much water themed. So that coming in instantly, where there is this like this proper like tender loving care and nourishment and like romanticizing life almost coming forwards, like go inwards, be still, like have a beautiful bath, put rose petals in it, like get your husband to treat you, and like just actually allow the beauty of life so that you can really land in that space and like let your intuition, your creativity and everything like really come into flow. Because we also have the Five of Pentacles, and this is a card that talks about being like, it's like left outside of the door that they want to go into. And as you can see, like looking down, all sad. And that's like that loss and poverty mindset. And it's like asking you not to get in, like into that aspect of things. Like don't lean in to poverty mindset in regards to anything. This is like that no amount of this self-care, this like tenderness, this love, this beauty, this is what's going to serve you with this eclipse portal. And not worrying about like, so don't go into poverty mindset of like any sort of, and like because it's money, pentacles, of thinking, oh, I can't do that because I need to earn the money, or like I can't relax right now because I need to do this. It's actually saying like, whoa, brakes on. You're not actually going, like you may worry, but you're not actually going to lose everything, or like, or anything. You're not gonna lose everything anyway, but like just actually lean into that beauty, lean into the intuition, lean into the self-care. And it also came out with soil and simplicity. What else does it say? Stability. And this is what it's saying, like, don't worry about almost like the surface level things, like, oh, I really need to look after myself today. So say like you have to cancel an afternoon of work, or potentially like you need to rearrange a client because you're just like, I just can't right now. And you're worried about this, you know, the losses. It's like saying, no, actually what this will be honoring, like you'll be honoring that, and it will offer you like this root system. You'll be digging your roots in a more stable, secure way by honoring that water aspect. And yes, get a cat. Absolutely. That's definitely on the cards. I really wish I could just whiz out a card that had a cat on it right now just to like prove my point, but we won't do that. I can see, so Terry, you're here. I'm assuming you're still there, so I will pull you some cards, and I can actually see that there is 4 people. So if the other 2 people that are in the chat do want some cards read, I just need you to pop something in the chat if you're able. If you don't need cards read, that's not a problem. You don't have to. You can literally just wave. You don't even need to say anything. You can just kind of show yourself, like, so I know you're there. Just helps me like tune into your energy a bit. Otherwise, I'm literally be like, I don't know what. Yeah, just try and tune into a random person. But Terry, we'll do you. I'm just going to assume you're still here. She's here. Oh. So the first card we got is the Queen of Cups. So Cups is the water. Cups is the intuition, creativity is in here as well, and how you relate to people. And we like her because she's in the upright, so she is in her power stance, on her throne, in her power, in flow. And this is literally what we want. And as I've been saying throughout this, and also to you privately, like, just allowing and being in flow. And the fact that this has come out first for you, I like, because it's like actually saying to you, like, this is that aspect of like you will hone it in a way that may feel a bit impossible right now. And even like water drowning out a bit of that fire, that like ramped up oomphness. I know fire's coming in with the fire horse and stuff, but like the queen energy just really leaning in to compassion and softness and unconditional love and all of these like very, very soft, gentle vibes will really come in for you in a way that may not feel at this moment in time very possible, and really also leaning into this. So a continuation of like when you have your baths and stuff, like really cool in the water element, actually a continuation of that other card reading we did the other day. And then you've got cups again, the Four of Cups here. The Four of Cups in reverse though, and this is a card that can talk about like a bit of like almost boredom energy coming in. So there's like a level of what's coming in with this Queen of Cups for you. Well, actually, like it's essentially because the way it's being shown to me is like water on your fire, and where that fire passion energy really comes from for you. Like this may be a bit more like almost disconcerting, like, and it may feel a bit like more stagnant. But it's not stagnant water, it is flow, but it will squash a bit of that fire, and for you like maybe a bit like, oh, like I just don't know what to do with this, because you're used to that like fire oomph. So bringing in a bit of like, yeah, just like this doesn't feel as fiery, and getting used to a almost like new way of being with it, but you will get this like great clarity. Ace of Swords. So swords is that mental landscape, and it's that freedom of all of the worries, the fears, the anxieties. There's like this fresh, like clean slate coming in, where you will, for one, it can bring in new ideas, and a thirst for new ideas, and being able to like start a whole pointing it the wrong way, a whole new like fresh cycle in regards to the way you really like see things, and it's through this like water cleansing through a bit of that fire to give you this clarity. So it's like really, really beautiful cards in regards to this energy, because it feels like it's quite soft at the beginning with that water like softening a lot, and then like swords are pointy, so it will then come in with this like boom, like on normal tarot it's literally like it's always a cloud in the sky with a sword, so like being offered that, like, and if you think then the sword is like a weapon, so you'll have this new weapon to go forwards with, but it will be with more love and compassion and like a gentler edge, but still a sword, still able to like, you know, attack when needed. Some of these cards. We got hedge for you. And hedge says potential boundaries and indecision. So it's like the liminal space, the hedgerows. So with that, like it's really taking you, and like almost that aspect, this cleansing through, but taking you to that hedge, taking you to that border, taking you to like literally the edges, and like where you kind of at now, like where you feel like you're going to break or burst because you're just like, fuck this shit. But the potential lies like at that edge, but it's like just taking, like you've been pushed and pushed and pushed to like that breaking point, but like it will actually soften, and you'll have the clarity, you'll see a new way forwards that you didn't see before, but just like trusting in the unfolding of that eclipse, and the crazy it brings, because it does. And you are very welcome. As I was gonna say, as the other two people haven't said anything, but then someone appeared. You're here. I'm pull you some cards, Anna. Literally perfect timing as well. We're going with the same sort of like how to survive question. No. So We're starting with the moon in the reverse, and the moon in the reverse is actually kind of how we want the moon. So the moon is actually our fears and our worries and those illusions of the subconscious. It does also talk of the mother. It's the moon. It's moon, like that's what rules it. And in the reverse, it's like a releasing of suppressed emotions, suppressed fears, like and illusions that we've been keeping ourselves under. And it's like saying like it's time for that to shift, that they can like they can leave now. And they're going to, this is the shift, this is the big like breakthrough clarity that you're going to get. And it's come with the Queen of Wands in the reverse. So we don't like her upside down. We want her on her throne in her power. And Wands being that fire energy. So in the upright, it's courage, it's courageousness. It is that creativity. It is that spark. It is that flame. But you interestingly got it like then with the Knight of Wands. And what it feels like is saying is like, don't rush yourself. So with this release, like trusting in the process of like this release is not going to be like a literal jump then straight onto like Queen of Wands in your throne, in your power, full of all this courage and vitality and passion. It's Wands. But it's a working towards. It's the Knight energy coming in. So the Knight is the like step backwards. It goes Knight, Queen in the tarot, and saying like what this will offer you through this like purging, this cleansing of everything that has been repressed, like this full on like releasing of it. 'Cause this is major arcana as well, so it's big stuff. Is saying that like you can't like hop, skip and jump onto your throne, but you are aiming. This is what is going to like, this is kind of coming in for you, but you have to be the Knight first. And the Knight of Wands is that more like active, like you're journeying towards getting on your throne in your power in a way where you're really like embodying that passion, creativity, that flair, that life force really coming back through your body and being like, up it comes. But to do so, you have to go on the journey. And this person's not even on the journey yet. The horsey's over there. They're just having a whale of a time playing a drum. So there's an element here of like, with this shedding, with this release, whatever was being like repressed and let go of, then the aspect is then to fill that space, because it took up so much space before, you're then, there's a space to be filled. And it's saying, well, what makes you, what is this to you? Like, what is going to like inspire you? What makes you just like bring that fire back in? It's not about jumping straight onto your throne, into your power. It's about enjoying the journey there and doing things that bring you that joy, that spark, that passion. Feel that coming back into your body. Let's get one of these as well, because if I don't, I will feel mean. We got the Sun. So pure life force energy coming back, pure fire coming back. And this card says healing energy, happiness, comfort, and joy. So your spark's coming back, my love. Your sunshine is coming back. You're at that point now where you are truly, truly releasing all that has weighed heavy. And then even that, like moon and sun. So the opposites coming forwards. So you're moving from that, like from one energy to the other. You're coming out of like the night. You're coming out of the dark. The moon's, there at night. You're coming out of the darkness into the light. You're coming back into that day life force, like fire energy. So yeah, this is really beautiful. And I can see as well, so your second house is your material worth and the value you place, but also like on yourself. And so how you then like really are in the world. In that regard, it's like it is your possessions, but it's like I said, it's also the worth you place on you. So that's kind of in fitting with like really coming back into a sense of being. Is there anybody else? And if there's not, then I'm going to skedaddle and make some yummy food. Remember that the eclipse is tomorrow at midday. So, like I said, we're already in all these energies. And actually, you don't really need to know it. Like, just know it's at midday. In fact, the exact time is 1 minute past midday. So, yeah, midday. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, pay attention to that moment in time and just see if you just as in like for intrigue, just see if you feel different. See if you can literally feel a complete and utter shift and change, or like what happens for you at that moment in time. And it may be nothing, but it's just like, that moment of intrigue. But you don't need to, as I said before, no manifesting, don't put your crystals out. Like, it is literally like just run a bath and just be, and let these energies wash over you. No control here. Let go of all control. And I'm like laughing at myself with this because I like control. It is really about surrender and flow into this, and trust the messages that are coming through. Trust, even if it's uncomfortable, even if horrible things come up and it completely knocks you for six, it is actually to align you. So having the trust in whatever discomfort, pain, anything like that that actually may come forwards is purposeful. And if you are really struggling within it, eclipse portals are great times to get energy healing. So you can always book in with me, either online or in person. And if you need to help with that calm relaxation, that reset, like, this is a good period to do it. And a card reading, of course. You can always get a card reading, but I would honestly just like trust where you're being guided at this time, and trust that it's a little preview for what is really to come when the nodes shift again. I think that's it. Whoever else is in the room, I'm really sorry. I would have happily read for you, but I don't know who you are. So I can't. But next time, and sometimes I know that it's like you can't put in the chat and stuff. But yeah, my services are there. If you want to book, my details should be on YouTube. But if not, I'm Heart Medicine with Charlie, and you can just send me a message. I'm on socials. You can type it into Google. You type that in, you will find me. And yeah, that is it. Enjoy the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. I really want to know what it brings for you. So please pop me a message with stuff like that. And I will be back for Moon and Tarot. I don't know what date yet, as in that when I will do it, but I will do it for the full moon in Virgo that will be closing out the eclipse